Oh, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a bit of a discussion topic. As you guys know, I enjoy making these type of videos where I kind of just talk about the way I perceive things, whether it's in fashion or in this case, social media. And so I thought I would have a sit down with you guys and just kind of talk about YouTube versus like Instagram. And I know that a lot of you that probably watch some of this content, whether it's me or some other people that make similar content with regards to fashion, Instagram and so forth and so on, I know that there are some of you out there that probably would love to do the same thing or have already kind of started doing the same thing. And these are just some of the things that I've personally observed throughout the years of me just kind of doing, whether it's Instagram, YouTube. Like, to be honest with YouTube, I feel like I'm fairly new to this. I've been consistently making videos for a year, I would say, right? Like, I think the first 2 years I was kind of just entertaining certain videos here and there and just figuring things out, whether it's like quality wise, video, what type of videos I want to make. It's been such a great journey for me to go into because it's really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I'll get into that and the reasons why in this video. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into it. On Instagram, it is so easy to gather a following just based off doing what everyone else is doing, right? And let me explain. Like, for example, I'm in sort of like the fashion and style sort of content making, right? And one of the things that I noticed is that you can gain a following quite quickly by creating some of the outfits or some of the other things that you've seen other sort of pages that have bigger following have done. So what I mean by this is that there are some outfits that are going to perform much better compared to an outfit that you may let's say but won't do as well, right? So what I started realizing was that with Instagram, you can really fall into the trap where you start just recreating outfits that you've just seen do really well on someone else's page or on one of those big pages that kind of like repost certain outfits like NCL Gallery or pose shots. And I started finding that was, it's a good way for you to get noticed, don't get me wrong. And I think that everyone that sort of creates content at some point has done something in the sense of I'm doing this more for my followers and people that kind of want to see more of this content. And everyone is guilty of that. I think that sometimes with content, if you make a lot of it and it doesn't necessarily create any engagement, then you kind of start thinking along the lines of okay, what is everyone out there doing that I can also do, but in my own way, to be able to create that engagement, right? And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that as long as you're conscious of, that ultimately the goal is to kind of stay authentic and to really just be you and create the content that you really want to truly create. So my thing with followers was that for example, I have certain pages that have over 100, 200,000 followers that can repost me, and I won't really gain any type of engagement or any type of following from them, because yes, they have a huge following account, but they don't really have that big of an engagement, if I may say so, or they're not as influential as that count seems. With YouTube, it was a bit different. With YouTube, it gives you sort of that possibility to be truly authentic and for people to be able to really see who you are. And if you, let's say for me, my field is fashion and style and menswear, right? And I've always made it a point to say on this channel that I love fashion, but I think I'm more interested in style and in how people put clothes together. And I find that, in my personal opinion, more interesting, because I think that like fashion can sometimes be unauthentic. It can be very like what's trendy, what's cool, and I wasn't really ever about that. I was just more so about like, can someone dress right? That I think that that's what made me be interested in fashion to begin with, right? So with that being said, I think that like with YouTube, you have the possibility to be able to influence, like, let's say, anybody, that kid that's going to college or university, someone that's trying to find their own personal style. And I think because you're able to express yourself through a video, people can see sort of like that authenticity, your knowledge on certain things, whether it's fashion content, whether it's like whatever you want to make. So that's one of the first things that I noticed between Instagram and YouTube, is that YouTube, you're able to have that platform where you can truly express yourself and you can truly bring knowledge and value to the people that are sort of like interested in some of the stuff that you're curating and some of the videos that you're making. With Instagram, it's generally just a picture. So, if you create, let's say, a picture that you've seen do really well somewhere else and you recreate that, chances are you could get a lot of likes and gain a following from that, but we don't really know who you are behind those clothes, and we, and do you actually have like authentic style? Can you actually dress, like little things like that. And I know that like that's quite subjective, because everyone perceives style quite differently. With YouTube, you're able to sort of see how they think, see why they dress the way they dress, and see if you can actually be inspired by that, and if you can actually be influenced by that. Some of you, or even just one person, to be able to be like, you know what, I'm confident enough to wear this, or think outside the box, and be like, you know what, I've never tried this, but I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. And I think that that will create more of a fun experience for you, whether it's like you're trying to do like social media or whatever, because it sets you apart. On YouTube, it's not just always about outfits, it's about getting to know the person behind the outfits, as well as like, seeing what type of value they can offer you in your journey in terms of style and menswear or whatever else you're doing, and just sharing important sort of conversations back and forth. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. Leave a comment down below on what you think. If there are any of you that are working towards your Instagram page or YouTube or whatever, just absolutely encourage you to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you can follow me on my Instagram at GRAGNTRE, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.